The question is, can the widow of a deceased veteran qualify to fly Space A? We're going to answer that question here today. Welcome back to Good to Go with Cliff, your personal guide to military Space A travel, regular travel, and all things cool. This is a question I frequently see posted to Space A travel groups on Facebook and other social media. But I think it's necessary for us to reframe the question, because the correct question is, can a surviving spouse of a deceased veteran qualify to fly Space A? Because a surviving spouse could be male or female. First, let me say I'm saddened by the passing of any veteran. Unfortunately, as we know, the only assurances in life are in fact death and taxes. This is just a reality that each one of us is going to have to face at some point, and it's important that a surviving spouse know what their eligibility is or is not for this important benefit. Our answer for today's question comes from Department of Defense Instruction 4515.13. The document is entitled Air Transportation Eligibility. It is the authoritative source for all questions regarding who is or is not entitled to fly space available on military aircraft. Now, you know, and I know that there are all kinds of folks out there with opinions about this important subject. And although many of them are very well intentioned, they are frequently wrong. So the information I'm going to share with you today isn't my own opinion. It's information from the authoritative source, the regulation DoD instruction 4515.13. This is information from the source, and I'm going to give you specific references, including page number and paragraph, so that you can go to it yourself and check it out. In fact, I'm going to put a link to the document in the description below, so you can check it out. Section 4.8 covers documentation requirements and eligibility. Paragraph R on page 36 covers the eligibility for surviving spouses. And it reads as follows. Surviving spouses of service members who died while on active duty, inactive duty training, or annual training status, as well as retired military members and their accompanying dependents, must have a DoD US ID and privilege card. Dependents who are under the age of 14 must possess a federal, state, local, or tribal government issued identification. So just to summarize, if your veteran was retired and passes away, whether they were active duty or reserve or medically retired, you as the surviving spouse and your dependents are authorized to fly space available. If your veteran was an active duty reservist, that is an active reserve status, and passed while performing inactive duty, that's their monthly battle assembly, or if they passed while on active duty orders for annual training, you as the surviving spouse and your lawful dependents are likewise eligible for military space available travel. An important difference that I would like to point out, though, is that if you are the spouse of a retired veteran who traveled space available with that veteran, you and your retired spouse were able to travel as Cat 6 retirees. And as such, you were able to fly both within the continental United States, or CONUS, as well as OCONUS, pretty much anywhere military aircraft went. However, as a surviving spouse of a deceased retired veteran, your eligibility changes somewhat in that you can still fly within the continental United States. However, you're no longer eligible to fly space available OCONUS. So Europe and Asia are now off the table. And that's a significant and important change worth noting. Now, some of you might be asking the question, what about the status and eligibility of surviving spouses of 100% disabled permanent and total veterans? DoD instruction 4515.13 is silent on the subject, which means there is no eligibility in this case. Sorry, but that's what it says, or in this case, doesn't say. And that's a wrap for this video. If this kind of information is useful to you, I invite you to hit the subscribe button and join the team. Also consider clicking the bell so that you can get notifications every time I upload a new video. Thanks for checking us out.